Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Book a Lunch Date. I'm not wearing an apron today because I'm trying to promote our new t-shirt. It's our Spooky Book Festival, but let's start cooking right now. Today we're making pork chops. This is one of my favorite recipes. We're making pork chop today. The pork chop I'm using today, this is one of my favorite recipes because when you usually purchase pork chop at from a grocery store, you will have, they usually come in the big pack. So what I will usually do is I will separate them and then I'll marinate them in the vents. Again, we're making pork chop today. I will be cooking them in two different ways. I'll be using my air fryer as well as my regular pan fry dish. I was just saying that usually when we purchase pork chop from the grocery store, they come in the big pack. And a lot of time we couldn't finish. So what I like to do is I like to marinate them in the vents. So I will separate them in usually four or five in little Ziploc bag and already marinated and then put them in the freezer. So when it's time to cook it, I don't need to worry about, oh, I still need time to marinate, I still need to worry about what kind I need. So if you do that, that's going to save you a lot of time. And today I'm making a gingery teriyaki pork chop. So I love the taste of ginger. So this is what we are going to do. I have like a chunk of ginger root. This is a ginger root. It's really flavorful. You can get them at most grocery stores nowadays, and a lot of people don't know how to deal with the skin. Honestly, the skin part is kind of like potato or sweet potato skin. It's actually edible as long as you wash it nicely. But if you're like, no, it was dirt, I don't want to eat it, how do I get rid of it? It's really easy. Just take a spoon. Any spoon will work. But this kind of spoon just have a better grit on it, and you just hold on to, let me move this so you can see. So you just hold on to your ginger root. You can cut it in half so you have a flat surface that you're working with. Right, just hold on to it and then just scrape down. That's going to give you, that's going to help you remove the skin really fast and easy if you don't like the skin. And I mean, it's safer than using a knife, right? You don't have to worry about cutting yourself, especially when ginger root sometimes they don't come in, they're usually a pretty strange shape. Alrighty, so we have all those skin, and you're done. You have a ginger root, a naked ginger root without the skin. See how fast and easy that is? And I also have this grinder thing, so I'm going to make a paste out of it. You don't have to. I like it because it's going to give it a lot more flavor that way. If you don't have something like this, you can always just mince it. Okay, so I'm just going to do this a little bit. Circular motion. Alright, should be enough. And then what I am going to do is I'm actually going to use half of these because I want to add it in to the sauce I'm cooking later on. So I'm going to chop it in thin slices. Okay, nice and easy. So we're done with this part. I'm going to do this. Now we're going to work on our pork chop. Pork chop is something that a lot of people love, but it's a little bit tricky to deal with just because pork tend to be dry. it tend to be dry, and if you cook it too long, it's chewy. So a lot of people don't like to cook pork, or they like to do barbecue with it instead of dealing with pork chops. Now the other way so in order to solve that problem, what you can do is to get a meat tenderizer. So it kind of shaped like a little hammer. It's quite heavy, and that's the point of it. And then you have a pointy end and then a flat end. So we're going to use this side. It's going to make the meat a lot tenderized, and it's going to make all the tough part, they're going to break it apart. If you don't have something like this, don't worry. You have a knife. Turn your knife back and use the back of the knife. It works the same way. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do it on both way. And the pork chop that I got today, actually got it from my friend. It's not like the regular really big and thick pork chop. It's quite thin, which is nice. I like to work with pork chop that's nice and thin instead of nice. Sometimes if it's too thick, it becomes too dry if you don't know how to work with it. But if you do have pork chop like that, still do the same thing. You have to tenderize your meat, especially with pork, before you cook them. Okay, so with my knife, my butcher knife, what you want to do is on the back of your knife, just smash it. It's not going to cut the pork at all, because it doesn't have, it's not this side. You don't want to be careful. You don't want to swing it. You don't want to hurt yourself. And you flip it over and you do the same. And with a meat tenderizer, it pretty much just do the same thing. Just extra tool around the house. See? It is a lot faster. Right. And you can see I'm not marinating my pork right now. It's because I'm going to cook it directly in the pan. I have another batch that's marinated already. That's going to be going to the air fryer in a bit. This is the perfect dish if you have to cook for your family, but you're also angry at them. You can be like, right? Don't want to cook, but I have to. Fine. Get your anger out. Alrighty, and that's it. We're done. Away and wash my hand. Now what we're going to do is, instead of marinating, this method is a faster method if you don't have time to marinate your meat. And again, because we smashed it already, so it's a lot thinner, and that will help to for the flavor to go inside the meat, and it's going to make it a lot more flavorful, even if you're not cooking for a long time. So then add my oil. Doesn't have that much fat on it, so I probably want to use a little bit more oil. I'm going to add in my pieced ginger, not my ginger paste, but just like the ginger pieces in there. I wanted to kind of golden brown it before I add in the meat. Okay, so at the same time, what I am going to do is to work on my pork chop, my other pork chop. This is the other pork chop that I already marinated about 30 minutes ago. So you do want to make sure if it's under room temperature, it's at least 10 minutes. If you put it in the if you put it in the fridge, it will need at least an hour in order to marinate and most meat. Okay, so that's why I prefer to marinate ahead of time. Put them in a little Zippo bag, and put them in the freezer. When you want to cook it, bring it out and defrost it, and then you're ready to go. So the ingredients in here are super easy. I have ginger paste. I have some soy sauce, sugar, and rice wine. Again, you can use sake if you want, if it's easier access for you. Just don't use red wine. That wouldn't go well. Alright. So now, I just want to see if it's browning up. Okay, so now the oil itself has flavor of the ginger. Then we can add in our meat. Turn it down a little bit because I don't want one to overcook and the other one is still raw. It's pork, so you have to make sure your meat are completely cooked. And you do not want to eat uncooked pork. It's not healthy. It's not good for you. Alright, so now we're going to add in soy sauce. Sugar. Rice wine. Same thing, the same flavor that I personally love to use. I'm going to add in a little bit more. And then my ginger paste. Just put everything in and just let it cook. I'm turning my meat so both sides is kind of absorbing that sauce. And on low heat, okay, on super low heat, just let it cook. I don't want to burn it. I want it to still have time because I didn't marinate it ahead of time, right? So I needed to have enough time in the sauce to absorb all that flavor, absorb that gingerness and all that good stuff. Okay, so this time we can actually work on our the other kind of pork chop that I'm adding into the air fryer. So what I like to do is just kind of coat it with a little all-purpose flour, not a whole lot. I'm not coating it with a bunch of them. So just a teeny bit. Okay. And if you need more, you can always add more. And just both sides. I already marinated them, so it goes on really, really fast. And they're really thin, nice and thin, so it doesn't take a long time for them to cook through. And you don't want to add too much flour to it because it's going to be too thick, and you don't want that mouthfeel of flour on when you're eating your nice pork chop, fried pork chop, air fried pork chop, right? I probably need a little bit more flour. But we'll make do. Try to do more flour. Lesson learned. Don't be stingy with your flour. Let's see. And let me attempt to promote my spooky book festival again. So the Tulare County is having this wonderful book festival during our pandemic era. So it will be online book festival. It's really cool because it's October, so it's a spooky book festival to kind of include in our Halloween events. So it's going to be super fun. We're going to have authors that's coming to talk to us online, and everything is free. We're also going to be having multiple story times. So that's going to be fun if you have kids at home. We will also be having 2 book clubs, one for teens and one for adults. And these books are actually free for you to grab. So if you have, if you're interested in these 2 books, we're reading Clown in the Cornfield for the teens, and then can't remember the other one. There will be information posted online shortly after. So, and you can pick up those books starting next week at the Farmersville Library. They're free to pick up. Our hours again are 10 to 1 and 2 to 5. So come in anytime and to pick up your free books if you're interested in joining the book club. The time and date, the time for the book festival is going to be from it's going to be on October 15th to October 17th. Oh, I need cheat sheet to remember all this information. But you don't need cheat sheet because everything is going to be online. If you are following us on Facebook, you should be able to find pork chop. Back to promotion. So anyways, pork chop is in the air fryer. We're ready to go. And my other pork chop is also cooking. So very happy. So you can find everything online from the Tulare County Library website, or you can just come into the Farmersville Library or any library branch around your area to find out more information about the book festival. It's going to be an awesome event. We have events both for teens, adults, and children, and everything is at the comfort of your home. You don't have to come to the library and be around people. If you don't want to be around people, everything is going to be online. The book club is going to be featuring Clown in the Cornfield and Love Country. Yes, Lovecraft Country. Yes, it's been a long morning. I was dealing with other work stuff. All right. So our pork chop should be almost done over here, and that one is cooking right as we speak. Doesn't need 10 minutes, probably just 8 minutes, because it's not super thick, so it doesn't need that long. Alrighty. Yep. So if you have any question about the Spooky Book Festival, we're also selling these awesome t-shirts. Check out our website. It's going to be really cool. It's going to be a fun event for you during this pandemic when you are just looking for stuff to, distract your children or have a book to read but you don't know what to read. That's another reason why you can kind of join our club. And again, we are open for pickup service. So that means if you have items that you want to pick up, you can always call us. You can always request items online using a library card. Now, and then just pick it up in the library. You can call ahead of time for that. Okay. Oh, and the second thing. The book a lunch day will actually not be hosted by me, or it will either be not a book. There either will not be a a live stream next week, or there will be someone else subbing for me because I'll be going on a short vacation next week. So hopefully another library staff will be able to do their fun cooking live stream here for you. Okay, that will be really fun. Okay, they are all cooked. So see, all that salt it's gone, right? I add in a lot of soy sauce, rice wine, and sugar, but all those stuff are gone already because it's all either evaporated and the flavor has all been absorbed into our pork chop. So they are ready. They will go awesome on rice or noodles. And now we're just waiting for my fried pork chop, air fried pork chop. There we go. Now, yesterday in Asian tradition, I don't want to say Chinese because other country also celebrates it. Vietnamese people and other country also celebrate this holiday. Yesterday was Mid-Autumn, or the Moon Festival for many Asian countries. We eat mooncakes and other good stuff, but it's fun. It's been a nice. It's kind of like the Asian Thanksgiving. You know, in fall, everyone gather around to thanks for the harvest, and hopefully we'll have a better 2021 next year. So fingers crossed. So it's a big holiday, and so kind of just wanted to share that with you guys while that's cooking, because I'm running out of stuff to say. But the story behind the Moon Festival is because it is, according to the lunar calendar, it's September 15th. That's a date for Moon Festival. So not the regular calendar. The regular calendar that we currently use is based on the rotation of the sun. But the lunar calendar is actually based on the moon. So it's a little bit different. And I guess the closest thing that you can compare that to would be kind of like the farming schedule. Because I mean, back in the day, people farmed, so we use a calendar. So it has September 15th on the lunar calendar is the Moon Festival, which means it will always change every year. And that means yesterday was a full moon. It's the time of the year that the moon is the roundest. It's nice and round, so symbolize, you know, people coming together, nice and round, and we eat a lot of stuff, so our bellies are also nice and round. So no, it's a nice and really nice holiday in kind of this global pandemic. And hopefully next year we will have a better holiday. I'm going to flip it. That's why I like to do when I'm using my air fryer. Like before it's all done, like a little bit, I will flip my meat over. Both sides is nice. And you can use breadcrumb with that if you want. Just use a little bit of egg wash and add it in. Anyways, back on Moon Festival. So yesterday was a Moon Festival. It was nice. We didn't really do much to celebrate here, but I did saw a lot of people. And the Taiwanese people have a really random way of celebrating that's different from everybody else. We barbecue. That's our barbecue day. So a lot of my family's back in Taiwan, they barbecued, so everything's nice and fun. And the reason why they barbecue is really weird. It's actually kind of like Christmas, how it become a very commercial event. It's because a long time ago, not a super long time ago, probably like 20-30 years ago, in Taiwan, there was a huge advertisement for barbecue sauce during Moon Festival, and just saying that, hey, it's Moon Festival, everyone gather and barbecue. And because of that advertisement, everybody started barbecuing during Moon Festival. It's a nice fun event, but traditionally we'll eat mooncake, we'll eat crabs, and other good stuff during the season. And it's a time where everybody come together to celebrate harvest, to celebrate family, to celebrate the moon. Alright, and our meat is ready. Again, it's nice and thin, it doesn't really take a long time to cook. And I marinated it ahead of time. What you can do if you want to have a more crispy pork chop, you can sprinkle a little bit of oil on it. I didn't, so that's why it's a little bit not as crispy, but it's still really good. I promise. I'm actually going to change chopsticks. When I'm eating, I will try both of them. A smaller piece. Again, the marinating sauce I use is just soy sauce, rice wine, and sugar, and my ginger paste. Do put it in. You do want to set it for a little bit. It's awesome. You can. I personally love ginger, so you can really taste the ginger in them, and it's great. It's on point. And just a little crunchy, not super duper crunchy. But the meat is nice and soft. It's not too thick to a point that you have to, chew on it. And then the pork chop that I did in there. This one is not as tender as the other one before, but it's still really good. It's not too chewy. And the sauce and the soy sauce and ginger is all outside. It's perfect. Okay, I'm still chewing, sorry. So these are the pork chop 2 ways that you can do at home. It's really easy. You can do it marinate ahead of time. You can do it so you can pull them out when you have a hard day at work. You don't have to worry about what to cook for your family. And you can smash the meat really hard when you're angry at somebody. And I will see you the following week, for I will not be here the next week. Bye guys!